What's up, fam? How y'all doing today? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Okay, so I turned the comments on my video yesterday, guys. So go watch that video. Tell me what you're thankful for. Let me know what you guys are thankful for, and let's talk. Today's the day after Thanksgiving. Today is November 29th. It's the last, no, tomorrow will be the last day of the month. We are officially done with November. We will never have this month again until next year. It'll be a whole new year. Let me vent with you guys for a minute. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed, guys. Fingers crossed. Actually, no. I'll tell you guys that on Sunday. We'll do that we'll do a Sunday video. But I wanted to tell you guys, okay? I don't know if I should tell this story because I feel like it's bad, but I want to tell you guys this story because I'm open and I'm open book with you guys. So I want to tell you, I'm so embarrassed to say this, but I want to tell you guys. This is when I lost my virginity. I guess that's how, I don't even know what you're allowed to say on YouTube or whatever. I'm not going to go into details, so that they don't even have to worry about. But, okay, so shout out to you, Brittany, wherever you are. It was this girl named Brittany I was dating at the time. And she was a little bit older than me. I don't know, for whatever reason, it might just be my preference, how you say the word, and what type of girls that I like or whatever. Or women, or, well, say women. At the time, I would say girls because I was still a kid. Well, yeah, technically, yeah. I was still a kid. They were older than me. So that's what I'm trying to think, because I'm like, technically, they would be women. I would be a kid to them. I guess, whatever. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. But, in general, I've always dated women that are older than me. Always. Like, always. The youngest I've ever dated was my girlfriend, my ex-girlfriend, Feliciana. We were like the same age. I think I'm older than her. I think. Because her birthday's in November. Her birthday, oh my God, did it pass already? Feliciana, I'm sorry if I didn't say happy birthday to you. I need to go look. But anyways, so this girl, Brittany, and me, I think I told the story, guys. We met when I was at my private school that I hated at Dayton Christian. Shout out to you. I don't even know if you're still open. You guys were just such a bad school. Anyways, and so we lived in the same town, and the school was in the town next to us, over from us. So we had to carpool a lot to school. And so at 6 o'clock in the morning, and my little brother went to the school. He was downstairs in like the middle school, elementary school age. He was elementary. So he was in the elementary age. And then we were upstairs, right? So my little brother was downstairs, and a lot of some of my other classmates, their little brother and sisters were downstairs. And we were friends with one of the lady because she was just always friendly to us. And so she worked downstairs in the nursery area. So we would always see her after school and hang out with her. So anyways, so we'd always go see her and hang out with her. And we always had to wear the stupid dress code, khaki pants, polo shirt, belt, shirt had to be tucked in, and you had to wear brown or black tennis shoes. Those were like all you were allowed to wear at the school. I'm sorry, my hands are always, actually, I hate that. Every time I like wash my hands or anything, does that happen to anybody who is African American or white? It just doesn't show more on white people, but it shows on black people a lot, and it's so annoying. I hate it. But anyways, let me get back to the story. So anyways, so me and Brittany were friends, whatever. I don't have to go into all the details. I think my stories get so long and winded. But anyways, I don't want this to be a long video, only 13 seconds. So it was Wednesday night. It was after school. We went to her house. Her mom would always take us to youth group, and then her mom would always drop me off because my parents anyways, they had all this other stuff that they were doing. So, and I felt like they never had time for me, but that's another story. So anyways, we went to the church early because her mom was a nurse, and her mom was like, she picked us up, and then her mom had to go back to work at 6, and church was starting at 6. And then she's like, I'll get off at 9, and I'll pick you guys back up. So we're like, okay, cool. So we went to church at like 5:45 because she had to be at work early, right? And the job is not even that far from the church. So she's like, I'll get you guys lunch, I'll get you guys dinner, and then I'll drop you guys off. You guys can hang out. Church will start at 6 o'clock, and then I'm going to go to work, and I'll pick you guys up back here at 9 o'clock. We're like, okay, cool. So she's like, but stay on the church property, right? You know, because she didn't want us to get kidnapped or anything, right? Because we're both like, I'm 14, she's 15. So we're only like 1 year apart. So we were like just talking, and it like, we went in the little, we were just talking and we were hanging outside on the back, on the back of the church where they have the playground and stuff or whatever, and we were just swinging and talking and whatever. And it is almost like something you see out of a movie. We like just leaned in and like there was like, I don't know if you kids know this, but up north you would have these chains, like 4 chains, and then a tire, a big tractor tire, and then it would be an opening and you would sit on that and swing in circles or go back and forth. And that was always like our swings, right? Because we're in the country, right? We have those big tractor tires. So it's called a tire swing. So we were sitting on the tire swing and we were going around in circles and we were just talking. It was a nice windy day and I love Ohio for that. But I'm not fat or nothing at this time because I told you guys I was super skinny. She was like this. She was so skinny. She did not eat. I think she had an eating disorder or something. I don't know. But I just never saw her eat. Or if she did, she just picked other food. So anyways, we're making out on the swing. Stuff happens. We move into the nursery. And I don't know why we moved into the nursery. But it was like the closest room that was right there next to us, right? Where we were at. Because to get outside, you had to go through the nursery to get outside. You know, the daycare area. You had to go through there. It's called a nursery. We would have to go through the nursery where there's rocking tables, changing tables, all that different stuff. Goldfish, Cheez-Its, you know, all those nursery foods that I still love goldfish and Cheez-Its, but they remind me of like when I used to be in the nursery or summer camp or whatever it was, preschool, right? So we end up in there. I'm not even lying to you guys. I promise you not. There's this big picture of Jesus, like just looking in the room, you know, right? And he has 2 little kids on his shoulders, and then he's holding a sheep, and it's like saying Jesus is watching over you, whatever, something like that, in some Bible verse. I think it was like John 3:16 or something. And I'm not kidding you. I saw that the whole time we were doing da-dun-da-da. And I'm like, I'm going straight to hell. Like, I felt like I was going straight to hell. Because 1, we're doing it in a church. 2, we're doing it in a nursery where babies always are and stuff like that. 2, we're the only ones in the church. No one was there. Not even the pastor was there. But what I felt like was bad was we kind of like took advantage of the situation because they knew us so well, me and Brittany, so well, that they would let us roam around the church because we never did anything bad. We usually would just like hang out outside on the swing where you can see us because it's a pretty big like field where the church is. So you could see us from the street. You could see us from the highway. So the church is like in the middle. And so you wouldn't even know anyone's there because there's no cars, right? Me and Brittany didn't drive at the time. So anyways, we finished doing da-dun-da-dun, and then we heard the janitor coming. So we're like freaking out. We're like trying to put everything on. It's like a scene in a movie. We're like trying to put our stuff back on. The janitor was like such a cool Caribbean guy. He was so funny. He's like, look, I don't need to know what y'all were doing, but 1, your shirt's on backwards. Her shirts are on backwards. There's like lipstick all over my face. Her stuff is all mirrored, whatever. He's like, I don't need to know what you're doing. 2, I hope you guys use protection. 3, I'm not going to snitch. And 4, y'all never should have done it here at the church because that's bad. That's disrespectful to God. That's what he told us. And then he was like, I'm not a snitch, so I'm not going to say nothing to your parents. But he was like, don't let it happen again. Like, don't let it happen again. So we laughed, and then we just went and sat in the auditorium, and then people started showing up. And then she told her best friend what happened. I told one of my, like, we're best friends, but like she had a girl best friend. I had a guy best friend, Thomas. I'll never forget. I told Thomas, I was like, Thomas, yo, I did da-da-da-da. He's like, nah, man, for real. I was like, yeah. He's like, how was it? I'm like, well, I lost my V card technically. So I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I told him, I was like, I don't know. Like, I just told him, I'm like, he's like, was it all like the movies make it? I said, no, it wasn't romantic. It wasn't like butterflies and rainbows or whatever else you want to think it is. Like, I'm like, it was just kind of like, I don't know. It just wasn't all that for me. But I remember being so embarrassed because we basically got caught. And then I remember being so embarrassed that, like, for whatever reason, I thought the church had cameras. But at this time, tech was not big back then. A lot of churches did not have cameras in small towns. Like, a lot of churches did. And everybody knew everybody. So, like, why are you going to go steal something? We know you did it, or we know your mom or your auntie or your uncle or your grandpa. Anyways, it just was stupid as still. So, for whatever reason, I was like, dude, but what if someone, like, we were being like, whatever. And she kept saying, yo, we're okay, we're okay, we're okay. It's fine, it's fine. So then we were scared that he was going to say something later that night at church, because it is so funny, because the sermon that the guy preached that night was about saving yourself. He said, women, save yourself for your husband. Men, save yourself for your wife. And it was just talking about like all the different things that, that all of us are addicted with, or whatever it was. And he was just talking about like, different stuff, right? Because this is for youth group. This is for teenagers. So he was just telling us, and then it's funny because he told his story of his first time when he lost it, and he said he lost it when he was at summer camp. And I was like, what the hell? But then I'm like, I can't even judge now. So I was just like, and then I remember I came home, I took a shower. I know she took a shower, all that different stuff, right? But I remember we were scared because both of us did not use any type of protection. Kids always use protection, or anybody always use protection. We use none. And I remember I was so terrified when she missed her, you know what? And I was like, oh shit, dude, I'm 14. There's no way in hell I can have a kid at 14. I was so terrified. And she was like freaking out because her mom was a single mother. Her mom had her when she was 16. This was before Teen Mom. This was way before Teen Mom. This was 2002, 2003. This was like, this was 2002 or 2003, right? But this was just like, you didn't really see a lot of young people on TV, except Britney Spears' sister when she got pregnant at 16 and ruined Zoe 101. That was the only person that you really saw that was like, the media talked about it so much. Like that was kind of where you're like, oop, parents were like, you don't want to be like her. You don't want to be like her. But I remember, I'll never forget. So she missed her, you know what? We were freaking out in school. We were whispering. We were talking about it. We were going to lunch and talking about it. We asked the teacher a bunch of different questions in health class. We asked our friend that I was telling you worked downstairs, and we told her what happened. She wasn't a snitch. She was mad cool. She was like, well, she's like, I can take you if you want me to take you, like, whatever. Like, she's like, but we have to tell your parents. Like, she's like, by law, I have to tell your parents. I can get in trouble for that. So we're like, okay. She's like, but look, wait and see what happens. And then, if you need me to take you, I can take you, and they can do whatever they got to do, to run tests or whatever. But she's like, shoot, in 6 months, we'll know you're pregnant because you're going to start showing. Because she was skinny, like I said, skinny. So you would have definitely saw a belly. Or you would have thought she put on some weight, and that would have been weird. Dude, I didn't sleep. I didn't eat. I didn't even want to go to church no more. I felt like God was punishing us. I was freaking out, dude. I'm like, I'm 15. I'm like, by this time I was 15. No. Yeah. Because we did this in early April, and I turned 15 in June. So I'm like, dude, I'm going to be 15 and have my first child. Like, I was freaking out. I'm like, dude, my parents are going to wear my ass out, dude. Like, literally, my parents believed in hitting your kids. Like, it would have been a done deal. And so did her mom. So we're like, dude, we both won't be able to sit for a few days. Like, it's not even a joke. I'm like, dude. But the cool thing about a small town was if we would have had the baby, we could have easily got a job and we would have been working and could have supported it, and our parents still would have helped us. But anyways, so come to find out, she did the pregnancy test. She did all that stuff. She wasn't pregnant, thank God. Her thing came. Her monthly thing came. We never told our parents. We never said anything because, one, I didn't want my parents to know that I was active because, no, I grew up in a very religious home. There was no way in hell I was telling them that. Same with Brittany. She was not going to tell her mom that either. So technically, the lady at the school knew, my best friend knew, her best friend knew, and that was it. We didn't even tell the youth pastor, nothing. But I remember double dating too one night, and the topic came up. I remember that too. And we were just like, yeah, dude, we just dodged a bullet. We could have literally had a kid at 15. But cut to, I moved to Florida. Right? We moved to Florida when I'm 15 and a half, almost 16, right? This is after I got kicked out of the Christian school. We moved to Florida. I did da because I was so pissed at my parents that day because they kept questioning me and my girlfriend Alex at the time. They kept questioning us, saying that we were doing it, and we were not doing it. Like, Alex's mom was a firefighter, right? Her father was a cop. So I'm like, dude, first of all, I'm not going to do that because that scares me. And her brother was a paralegal or whatever, something like that, right? She was 16, 17, and I was only 15, about to turn 16 something. We started dating, and she was gorgeous, guys. She's a mix of like, who's she a mix of? Who could I tell you guys? Adrienne Balouve, if you guys know who that is from Cheetah Girls and who was on The Real, just look it up. Well, her last name is Houghton now. But she was in the Cheetah Girls and I forget the other group she was in. So she's a mixture of her and then Christina Milian. Like, those were like who I was addicted to, who I was attracted to at that time, right? That's how I know I'm not gay for people who say I am. Anyways, fuck them. But, so, we did Da one time when we were supposed to go to the movies because we were being accused of it so much. Kids, don't do this. Don't listen to what I'm saying. But we did Da just to spite our parents. Like, they left us in the mall. We literally left the mall, went to her house, did Da snuck back to the mall, watched a movie. I don't know if we ever told them. We did later. Because she was already fertile, meaning that she already had 2 kids. She had a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old when I met her, right? The 5-year-old, her father was in Miami in prison for drug charges. The other one, the guy died in a motorcycle accident. So I would have been a stepdad to 3 kids. Anyways, and one dad to real kids. So anyways, so she was very fertile, right? Me, I didn't even know that I was, wanting to keep doing that because it just wasn't fun for me, right? Because of what happened to me when I was younger. So anyways, so we did Da and she was like, yo, I missed my period, right? And I was like, oh shit, right? And I had a big missions trip coming. I don't know if I told the story, but I had this big missions trip that I was saving money for. We were going to go to London, and we were going to tell people about God, right? Because I was in another youth group down here. And so, like, all my friends were going. Everyone was so happy. We were doing church fundraisers. We were washing cars. We were helping the pastor do stuff. Everyone raised their money. My parents pitched in. My aunt and uncle, my grandma, my grandpa, everybody, my sisters, everybody. They're like, this would be like the coolest experience for you because at that time I was really living for the Lord, even though I was doing Da on the side. So I wasn't really living for the Lord. But anyways, I wasn't such a church nerd. So I remember going to the pastors. No. I remember exactly what happened. This is a long video. I remember exactly what happened. I was telling my best friend Jeff at the time that I might be a dad. And he was like, bro, who the hell did you knock up? I'm like, well, right? The church never got to meet Alex because she was going to her church and she never got to come to my church. But everyone heard about her, right? And saw pictures of her. So I'll never forget, our church was doing a lock-in, and that's overnight. When you spend night at the church overnight, you have fun, you drink all night, drink crazy stuff all night, like coffee, tea, soda, whatever. Lattes, like, anyways. So, Monsters, Red Bull, like, all that stuff was popping when I was younger, right? So, everybody in the church, I was friends with, like, everybody in the church, right? The whole youth group called me Biggie. Everyone knew who I was, whatever, right? I had friends everywhere. No one at that church was ever by themselves because I was always friendly with everyone, right? And at this time, I'm slowly putting on weight, but not fast. Like, at this time, I'm weighing about 180, 190, something like that, right? But I'm big boned, so, I'm tall. I'm just like, whatever. So anyways, I'm telling my best friend Jeff, we're sitting there, we're sitting at like this tall table, kind of like how they have it set up in Starbucks. And he's like, bro, what's wrong? Because I'm super quiet, like this whole night that we're at the youth group. And everyone's like, yo, what's wrong with Biggie? Like, what happened? Is it something at home? Like, they didn't know what happened. So they were like, yo, Jeff, you're his best friend, so go ask him what's up. So Jeff comes over. He's like, yo, what's up, Matt? He didn't call me Biggie. Always just call me Matt. So he's like, Matt, what's going on? And I was just like, bro, I don't know Like, I'm like, I don't know how to tell you this. He's like, tell me, I'm your best friend. Tell me. He's like, I'm not going to judge you. Like, dude, I think I knocked up my girlfriend. He's like, wait, what? He's like, dude, are you stupid? He was like, did you not use protect? Like, he was going in on me. He was like, dude. Like, and then he like punched me in the arm or whatever. Like, he was very like, not violent, but I want to say he was just very like abusive sometimes. So a lot of people, not just me. And if I was white, I would have so many black and blue marks because he was always like punching me or slapping me or like squeezing my arm. Anyways, he just had a lot of anger issues. So I've dealt with abuse from a lot of different people. I have to tell you guys that story too. I've never told you guys that story. I need to. So anyways, I'll tell you Wednesday. Or tomorrow if my parents go out. But anyways, so Brittany, this girl, another Brit, no, not Brittany. Her name was Joy. Joy looked like Mariah Carey, the young version of Mariah Carey. She really did. So she was a loudmouth, and she was known as the hoe around the church because she was always messing with different guys, right? And she and me, we never really clicked. We clicked a little bit, but not that much. I got closer to her best friend, Chelsea. I got closer to Chelsea more than I did with her. Chelsea was so gorgeous. Oh my God. Chelsea reminds me of Selena Gomez when Selena Gomez was on Waverly Place. Like, Chelsea was gorgeous, but I had a girlfriend, right? And Chelsea had a boyfriend that didn't even go to church, was super gothic, right? Chelsea's the one who kind of got me into goth. Like, seriously, she really did. Where I was like wearing dark colors, painting my fingernails, eyeliner, all that shit I was doing to be gothic, right? I had that phase when I'm like 15, 16. Dark pants, all that crap, right? So anyways, whatever her name is, I forgot her. Chelsea, not Chelsea. What did I say her name was? I forgot. Anyways, so she goes and she tells the people in the church, hey, Matt's having a baby. Reese's having a baby. Biggie's having a baby. So then they call me in and they're like, hey, is this true? And I said, wait a minute, how did you hear? It doesn't matter. Is this true? And I said, I don't know yet. Well, you need to tell your parents before we do, and we need to know because you can't come on this trip because people going on this trip are virgins and they're going over to tell people about God. And I said to them, first of all, you don't know who's a virgin and who's not a virgin because no one's telling you their business. Second of all, you're not a virgin, neither is so-and-so, and neither is so-and-so because y'all have babies. So that doesn't even work. That doesn't count, Matthew. We're adults. You're a child. I'm like, okay, fine, cool. So they were like, you need to tell your parents tonight. And I was like, what the hell? So I went back to the girl and I said, you're a rat. And everyone said, you're a rat. And she just never came back to church. No one liked her for that because she had a big mouth. So then I went home. No, actually in the car ride home, I said, Mom, I got to tell you something. At this time, I'm 17, guys. I'm 17. 16, 17, I don't remember. I said, Mom, I got to tell you something. She's like, what? I'm like, I might have got a girl pregnant. You're not a virgin anymore? I said, no, I'm not. Why didn't you tell us? Why didn't you come to us? And I'm like, have I ever felt safe coming to you? No. So why would I tell you? Oh, that's not right. We're your parents. Da 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 da. So then when we got home, thank God my dad was out of town. So she calls him. She tells him he wants to talk to me. I tell him. He's like, when I get back, we need to talk about protection and all. I'm like, Mom. I'm like, Dad. I've heard all this in health class. I know. Well, then how do you know he was going on and I'm like, it's not a big deal. So anyways, before I took my shower, I called the church and I said, hey, I told my mom and dad. He was like, thank you. We need to talk to you on Sunday. So I'm like, okay, cool. So go to school, see Alex. I asked Alex. She goes, bro, my mom said she'll take us. Let's go do the test right now. Let's figure it out, right? So we do the test Monday after school. All the tests are done. And they're like, you're not the father. I'm like, thank God. Even though I probably would have wanted. I don't know. At that time, I was mad because I was 17. My birth mom had me when she was 18. I was like, I'm a little bit ahead of her. But anyway, so the baby wasn't mine, right? So cut to, we go to church Sunday. Youth pastor, all those people call me into this office room. And I'm like, dude, I feel like I'm in the principal's office, right? They have the deacon there. They have the pastor there. They have my 2 youth pastors there. And they have this other guy named Matt that I was super cool with. They're like, okay, so we let everyone know. We came up to everything. We basically decided that you're no longer going on the trip. All the money that you raised and everything that you did is going to Matt, the other guy. And I said, that's some bullshit. Like, that's exactly what I said. Please don't curse. I said, no, hold up, wait a minute. I put in all the work because of a rumor and because someone can't keep their mouth shut. Y'all want to kick me off of the trip that I put in all the work for. Matt didn't do shit. Matt didn't do nothing. Matt didn't come to nothing. That's not fair. Well, Mr. Cross, if you would have learned to keep I was just like, wow. I'm like, all right, I got you guys. That day was the day that I left that church. I was done. I said, you know what? I'm done giving you my life. I'm done being a part of this church. And I just never went back. And then all my friends were like, why'd you leave? What happened? Do you have a kid? All this other stuff. And I'm just like, no, the kid wasn't mine. Yes, they kicked me off the trip. My friend Brett and Brian were like, why aren't you going? We wanted you to go. Like, you're like going to make it fun. We don't want Matt to go. He's kind of boring. Da, da, da. You know, the other guy's name was Matt. I'm like, I have no say. I can't go. We're going to boycott it. We're not going to go unless you get to go. And I'm just like, because like half the kids, so first the trip was just going to be like me, the youth pastor, his wife, 2 other members of the church, and that was it, right? So there were like no kids going. I wanted to go. I didn't even think I could raise the money because I think the trip was like $700 or $800 for the trip or something like that. Back then, that was a lot of money to me. So I didn't even think that I would get to go because I was like, I don't think my parents will pay for that. But they were like, no, we got you. So when I found out I was going and there were still times to do fundraisers and stuff, then my best friend, one of my friends, Brett, was like, I want to go. Then his best friend, Brian, was like, I want to go. Then our friend Tiffany was like, I want to go. Then our friend Bri, she wanted to go. She brought her 2 brothers that were twins. It was like a group of us going, and they were only going because I was going. Because I know a lot of people don't think that I'm like funny or cool or anything, but dude, I brought so much life into that church. It's not even funny. Like, I had such a carefree life back then. Like, I was not stressed about anything really back then. Like, kids, please live your life, guys. Live your life when you're a kid. Stop stressing yourself out about girlfriends, relationships, clothes, all that stuff. Just live your life. Like, I keep telling my son that. Like, just live your life. Have fun. Because when the real world hits you, oh my God. Oh my God. And it's not like these TV shows. It's not like these social media influencers. It's not that easy to get famous and have the best life unless you do stupid stuff that puts your life at risk, like Jack Doherty, like all the that he's been doing, trying to be the next freaking Jake Paul, and now Jake Paul is telling him to slow down. It's like, but anyways, me and Alex are still friends to this day. We still talk. She's married now. All her kids are pretty much all grown. And yeah. I would have loved that. I would have loved to have that baby if that was mine. I think that would have given me the motivation to get a job, get my reading better, and I think that would have given me the motivation to get the hell out of my parents' house at that time. But I love you guys. We're at 28 minutes. I did not want this video to be long. I'm going to turn the comments on. Go comment what you guys are thankful for on my video yesterday. Go to my TikTok shop. Go get you a candle. And comment below what you did. All right, bye guys, and tell me what you're thankful for. I love you guys, and I will try to post again when I can because I got to tell you the Jeff story. I don't know why I never told you guys the Jeff story, but yeah, I got to tell you. Talk to you guys later. Bye bye.